Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Wisconsin State Fair Park as we are taking on the Milwaukee Mile here in the Apex Custom Racing Gear E-Series Showdown. I'm going to read the logo tonight, and brought to you by Apex Sim Racing Custom Gear. And we're glad to have y'all tonight. Tonight in the booth, it is, oh heck, I got the old Pope himself, Dakota Wilson, in the booth with me tonight. Dakota, how you doing tonight?
Well, I couldn't think of a better way to spend my last day in my 20s, as my birthday is tomorrow. I turned a big 30, so that's excited to watch some more racing here.
Man, well, happy birthday to you, and happy birthday to anybody else out there. But it's playoff night here at in Apex. We're at the Milwaukee Mile, of course, and race number 2 of the playoffs, as we saw Tracy Parsons lock himself into the playoff last week with that win. And so now, when we take a look at the playoff bracket here, you can see Tracy Parsons, it took the night off, went to Alaska. I mean, he won. He had such a nice win, celebrated so hard. He went to Alaska and never came back. So we're going to be missing him tonight, but it's okay. He's locked in for 2. He can miss 2 races and still move on because he's locked into that top 8. So who's going to take the next spot here tonight? It's going to be an interesting race for sure in these trucks to see who pulls that off. Well, I'll tell you what, let's talk to maybe a potential transfer here tonight. And Dakota, I think you're caught up with Chuck Pegleg Phelps.
Hey, Pegleg, it's Dakota and Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep, just a second. I'm finishing my qual lap. Hold on.
Well, while he does that, and we apologize for pulling him in during the qualifying. Whoever's running the controls up there needs to get their stuff together. It's ridiculous. Why would you pull someone in during the qualifying lap? But yeah, we'll talk a little bit about the playoffs. And last week we saw a lot of things going a little awry. You saw the intensity pick up. We had normally green flag racing here. And but this season, though, the last couple races, the intensity is starting to pick up, Dakota. And, that's playoff race. And once we get into that, the stakes get a little bit higher. Those rounds are short, only 3 races. And, man, you've got to get up there and get those points or get that win to move on to the next round.
Yeah, for sure. The playoffs, it can bring the ugly out in people. And, this field tonight, it's mainly playoff drivers. So, points are going to be crucial tonight. So we'll see who can, grab the reins and really take control of this race and, lock our way into the next round.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I think we got Chuck. We've caught up with him. Sorry about that, Chuck. And but Dakota's caught up with him now to talk a little bit about this race.
Yeah, you got us now, Chuck.
I do. And yeah, no, it was no big deal. I was actually coming out of turn 4, but it's all good, fellas.
I know. We just wanted to get you in here, see, you're kind of sitting middle ways through the playoff field, kind of get your thoughts on how you want to approach, tonight and next weekend to Kansas, how hard you're going to push and, do what you need to do to advance to the next round.
Well, I've never run the trucks here, and I've only run maybe 1 or 2 races in other vehicles at this track. So I don't have enough experience here. I don't feel comfortable tonight. I'm just going to try and keep it clean and survive. But I think that's going to put me in a box next week to have to really, really push it. But I'm comfortable at Kansas, so I feel okay pushing it there. I just hate having to be in a box. I just can't figure this track out. Not so much on my wheel setting or brake bias or anything. I'm just not sure how to approach the corners here, break points or arc it in or shallow. So I'm just struggling here at this track. If you look at the track, it looks like a straightforward track, but when you get on it, at least for me, it's not a straightforward track, at least not for me. So I think I've got to struggle tonight. I'm just going to try and, keep it clean, get whatever points I can get. And then again, I'll probably have to really push it next week at Kansas, but I feel good at Kansas. So that's kind of where I'm at this week and next week.
Yeah, well, if there's anyone who's really good at keeping their stuff clean and getting to the end of these races, it's definitely you. So, I'm a big peg leg guy myself. I watched you in other leagues, so we'll be pulling for you.
I appreciate it, and appreciate you guys having me up here.
Yes, sir.
Well, always good to talk to Chuck. As you could tell, he's ready to go. Not confident about tonight, but this track, Milwaukee Mile, doesn't really give you a lot of confidence unless you just love the track. So, Dakota, give us an idea of what we can expect here as we take a look at the track info here. Tell us a little bit about Milwaukee Mile.
Yeah, it was originally opened in 1876 as a horse racing track, at the Wisconsin State Fair. And they started hosting automobile races in 1903 on dirt, and then on up in the 40s or 50s they swapped it to a hard top, and it's not really banked, so you really don't get that momentum from the high side, so finding the right line around this place, it's very tricky.
Well, why couldn't I don't know where exactly you grew up there, Dakota, but when I grew up, why couldn't I have a racetrack in my state fair or even my county fair? Like to have a racetrack at your state fairground, that's pretty dang cool. The only thing that were there at mine were a couple crackheads. So I don't know what yours was like, but mine was way different than what these guys got here. It's so cool to have a racetrack in your fairgrounds and be able to go to that locally. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, for sure. About the only thing we had at our fairgrounds was a tractor pull, so that's just a straight line. It ain't nothing as exciting as what's going to happen tonight.
That is right. Well, we got about 5 seconds left to go, and we're going to jump right into the Low Cash Motorsports starting grid. But first, we got to give out the Chuck Pegleg Pole Award, as qualifying is just about over. We'll get the grid up in just a moment, as everything is sort of cycling over. It takes iRacing just a few seconds, and then we'll get the grid up, and let's go ahead and get into it. Your Chuck Pegleg Pole Award is going to go to Garrett Kinder, who is a playoff driver and is going to sit on top of the points here, or on the top of the field tonight. Oh, Lord. As we try to get some stuff out of the way. Is Low Cash, also Low Cash broadcasting here. As you see the pink spoilers and windshield banners, that lets you know who's the playoff drivers dang near the whole field. But you see our starting grid here, Garrett Kinder, Alan Nash in front row. That's a pretty quick front row. Starting in row number 2 is Ray Rogers, man. Look at him qualifying. And Chris Bedwell outside row number 2. Row number 3, Willie Evernham with a great starting position. Alan Smith right outside of him. Starting 7th is the boss man himself, Aaron Adcock, and Matt Rogers starts outside of him in the 8th position. Starting in 9th is Kip Easley, and Charles Stevens rounds out the top 10.
And rolling off 11th, you got James Kunkel, everybody's favorite Georgia boy. And then you got Dana Shepard rolling off P12. Then next you got Daniel Holcroft rolling off P13 with Chuck Pegleg Phelps in 14th. Then you rounding out your field, you got Stephen Ayers Jr. and Anthony Edrington.
Well, a normal field here for this series, and boy, it's always good to have these fellas in the race, and excited to see the fireworks tonight. Like I said, last season it was a little, or last week it was a little wild, but as Chris Bedwell gets an EOL for some contact made last week, so a little bit of aggressive driving, he goes to the back, but. If I know Bedwell, that's only going to make him fight harder and fight to get up to the front. So excited to see that. As we take a look at our race analysis here for tonight, NASCAR Craftsman Trucks fixed setup as always. 120 laps, stage break at lap 30, and 4 total sets of tires. So going to be a good one tonight. Going to be a fast little race here to that stage break. Top 5 get playoff points. So. You really want to make sure that if you are up near that, if you're in the playoffs, you want to get a little extra points. You want to be up there. Pace car pulls off the track, and green flag is out here at Milwaukee Mile. 120 laps starts now as they come barreling down into turn number 1. Garrett Kinder on the inside with Alan Nash on the outside. If I know Alan like I do, Garrett Kinder should probably get that lead pretty quickly as they come off of turn 2. Alan knows the deal, and he is going to let him go and settle in that second position. But Garrett Kinder takes an early lead, would love to lock himself into the playoffs, and that guy in 3rd place, Mr. Ray Rogers, he would love to play spoiler here tonight and take over that spot, or take the win out of a playoff driver's hands. Pretty good start there, Dakota. Everybody's starting to get single file. We've got a battle back here between Charles Stevens and Alan Smith as they battle. This is for the 6th position. Alan sort of out of that groove, Dakota. In Milwaukee, you've got that little grip strip on the bottom. It seems like it's probably going to be a bottom-dominant track. Any thoughts on as far as where the groove might extend out in these turns?
Yeah, you might see the guys, move up a lane, but, a track being not as banked as this, you definitely want to take the shortest way around the track, because you don't have that momentum factor coming off, if you're up high. So if you can hug that grip strip and really just make some hay down there on the bottom, I think that'll be, that's going to be one of the keys to winning, low man wins.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if there's any shifting that's going to be going on. But a lot of times we'll see guys dropping down to third just to get that extra bit of grip off the corner. Alan Smith not shifting though. He's in forward all the way around so far. We'll see as the tires start to wear out. I think, I wonder if this thing is going to bog down enough if you really want to get up there and try to get in that power band. But Alan Smith trying to hold on to this position here as he's going to be trying to hold off Kip Easley. Oh, Kip Easley gone. He's holding off Matt Rogers. Up front, though, we've got a 3-truck breakaway with Garrett Kinder, Alan Nash, and Ray Rogers as Willie Evernham, Aaron Adcock back there fighting for that 4th position. Aaron going to go down to the inside now and try to make a move here on Willie, who had a great starting position, but starting to slide back just a little bit here. Well, so far, Dakota, what are you seeing? What are you seeing out of these drivers? What are you seeing that these guys are maybe doing that kind of piques your interest there?
Well, I think, right now it's just, follow the leader right now and really trying to fill this first stage out to, gauge where your tire where it's going to be. We got a little bit of side action back there. It looks like 4th place. I think, and it's also weird to see Ray Rogers, up front early, we're used to him just kind of catfishing his way through the front and really making it exciting there at the end. So, exciting to see him up there battling for the lead, this early on.
Yeah, it's he seems to really love it. You can hear him shifting, so shifting got to be a thing. But yeah, you really, it's really always odd to me that just see him, start in the back. But here, towards the end of this season, he is really starting to qualify up front. And every week, he rattled off 2 in a row a few weeks ago before Tracy snapped that streak last week. But he's just so good. He's sneaky good. It's just it's tough. But Alan Nash is also one of those right in front of him. He's trying to find a way around the 13 machine. You can see how difficult it's going to be to make those passes tonight. Just like any other flat track in our racing, you really need to use the whole track most of the time. So once you get down on the bottom and you try to gas it up, the truck just doesn't want to do that. And so you have to plan your passes and do it at just the right moment. And it looks like these guys are being patient, but they're really starting to break away right now. Aaron Adcock is keeping pace with these guys. These guys are running 3s and 4s and 5s. And Aaron running the mid-4s after he got around Willie Evernham. So I think, if these guys get up here to get to battling, I think Aaron Adcock's got something to say back there. He's about 1.3 seconds back from this group. But so far, it's just kind of nose to tail. I can't tell if Allen can go. He kind of goes a little wide there off the corner. That's not good. That gives Ray Rogers a little bit of run here. See what Ray does. May go down to the inside. Not quite able to get the run he needs. You see he's got the nose looking to the inside, just not able to get the power down to really even make a move. And this track kind of, a little bit smaller than, say, like, I don't know. New Hampshire is about the same, but it just feels a little bit smaller. It's really hard to make these runs happen. You see he tried to gas it up there in 3rd gear to get to the inside, but the tires started spinning and he just wasn't able to do it. But so far, so good on lap 11 of 120, so we got a long way to go, but a little less than 20 laps to go in this first stage, and then we'll have a really long race from here on out. Trying to watch this top three, but we'll come back to it in just a moment as we go back here to what looks to be 5th, 6th, and 7th with Willie Evernham, Chris Bedwell right behind him, and Charles Stevens up front. And Bedwell, who had that EOL, went all the way to the back, is already making his way through the field. It shows he started in 4th, but he did have that EOL, so he went to the back. And so already up to 7th position. A little bit of that rumble strip there, Dakota.
Yeah, you're gonna see him start, searching because passing it is extremely hard at this track, and I think this race may be won or lost off on pit road because trying to get off sequence a little bit. Anything you can do to get a jump on the guy ahead of you because it's so hard to pass here. You're gonna want to do anything you can to advance yourself.
Man, that's a great point. You can see right here just the difficulty as Willie Evernham trying to get a run there on Charles Stevens, just not able to do it. And Bedwell having struggles as well as Willie trying to attack here, get to that top 5, but Bedwell trying as well. And boy, they make it tight off that corner. Really close racing here. I love to see this, but you just don't see anything. You don't see anybody able to make a pass just yet. I've seen. While Bedwell's been able to drive up to the field right here, he's kind of stuck. So it's going to be interesting to see as the tires start to wear if that helps or hurts. Makes the racing Willie has been trying lap after lap to get to the inside. And here comes Bedwell going to drive up to the outside. But look at Dana Shepherd joining this battle in brand new Doves. So I know we got a lot of Dana Shepherd fans as we continue to watch this battle. But Man, look here. Got a nice little paint scheme here on the 43 machine, so changing it up on us. I like it. As Bedwell's going to get down to the inside of Willie Evernham, going to take over that position and now sets his sights on Charles Stevens as we cross over into lap 16, coming to lap 17. So some people are able to make passes. It just looks like it's really tough. And Bedwell, kind of ran these guys down, but then it took a few laps to get it done. And, that seems to be the way that it is in real racing, Dakota, especially on the NASCAR circuit. Dirty air, man, just a killer for racing. It's a constant conversation. If you're a podcast listener, if you're a DBC guy, you see Bedwell going to get down to the inside, and Charles Stevens does a smart thing and just goes ahead and lets him go, try to keep the bleeding from happening. But if you're a podcast listener, it's every week talking about dirty air, and in iRacing it's no different. That clean air can make all the difference in the world for the handling of whatever vehicle you're driving.
Yeah, for sure. And the bad thing about dirty air is you can wreck somebody and not even touch them. And we've seen that multiple times. In real life this year. It's just one of them things about aero-dependent race cars. You're either in the good, clean air or, you're fighting for your life in that dirty air.
Yeah, and if you're a viewer, if you're a listener, if you're not too aware of what dirty air means, you hear it a lot, but what does it mean? What does it mean they're in dirty air? What is that? How does that affect the handling? Well, you've got the downforce hitting on the front of that car or truck, and it's giving that the front tires more grip to be able to turn. The overall downforce, just the handling of the truck is just so much better. Allows the truck to turn better, or the car. As Willie gets a little bit loose, and here comes Dana Shepherd. So all you Dana Shepherd fans, I want to see y'all up on your feet as he goes down to the inside and he completes his 6th pass so far. He started in 12th, and Dana, man, look at him, up to 6th position and making passes like it's nothing. I think it might be the paint scheme there, Dakota, man, that guy's on the move.
Yeah, it's definitely not hard to see on the track. It's just a yellow blur right now.
Yeah, no kidding. I'll turn motion blur down so I can see the man. But I tell you what, dirty air, when you get you've got all the downforce in the world on the front of your truck as you're in clean air, kind of like Garrett Kinder is right now, and Dana Shepherd now after getting past that. So he's got all the handling, the front gripping just like it needs to. But as you get closer, about 3/10 to the back end of someone's truck, the air just goes over the top of your splitter, the front end, and you don't have the same grip that you had before. And so it just makes the truck harder to turn every lap. And closer you get, makes it so difficult. So you have to just kind of brute force yourself through that dirty air to get to the front. Maybe you try moving to a different line, maybe or just, like I said, brute forcing through it and using the rear tires, using that throttle to get around it. So dirty air makes a huge difference, and honestly, iRacing models it pretty well, I think, compared to what we see in real life and what we hear drivers complain about, because it is definitely a thing. I mean, Dakota, how many times have you gone in the corner knowing someone's behind you and use a little bit of that dirty air and dump it right on them as they're coming off the corner and make them get tight up off the corners?
Yeah, you run into it every single time you log on to the sim, and I'm not like Garrett and Allen and Ray and all them. I wouldn't know what to do with clean air if I ever had a chance. I'm always mired back in the back, mid pack to back. So I live in the dirty air.
Yeah, you were born in it. Well, right up front though, we got a pass for second place, as Aaron Adcock also has made his way up to the top three here. So he is definitely moving. Now, Aaron is one of those drivers who missed last week, and he is going to need a win to get in this thing. So he is definitely trying hard. He's going to be pushing here early to get up there and get those stage points. But stage points really don't matter to him, I don't believe. He may be able to point himself into the which we'll actually look at that right now, the point standing. You see Tracy Passons. Tracy Passons, who's in Alaska, would have that accent. But you can see there, I mean, Aaron Adcock sitting at 2,001 points. He is 54 points back from the leaders. I mean, that is quite a bit when only 16 drivers are showing up. That's going to be tough. And 8th place right now is 235. So that's more than almost a couple races. So he's pretty much going to have to either get the win tonight or next week to make the playoffs. So Aaron doing everything. I talked to him before the race, and he said, yeah, I got to get a win. Tracy said he wanted to get the win last week. He called his shot, able to get that dub. And so now Aaron going to try to get 2 in a row here for Poman, but it seems like Poman's going to win no matter what, because Garrett Kinder's up front. Unless Ray Rogers get around him, the top 4 is 3 Poman along with Ray Rogers. So, well, I guess, excuse me, I'm going to get in trouble for that. Alan Nash is actually on Low Cash, which is a Poman affiliate. But 3 laps to go in this first stage, lap 27 of 120. We got a long way to go. And right now, looks like Garrett Kinder doing a great job, but Ray Rogers on the attack. They have been mirroring each other's lap times, which makes sense because Ray Rogers really has nowhere to go. But he's been searching, trying to find a way around this 13 machine. And, this is dirty air. This is what we've been talking about. He is right there. And the problem is you add dirty air plus a flat track. I talked a little bit about that before, but to make this pass off the corner, he's got to come off the corner lower than what Garrett Kinder is. And dadgummit, Dakota, I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but Garrett's coming off as about as low as you can. So there's no real room for him to get underneath the 13 machine off the corner.
Yeah, the only way I could see him getting around him is, if he, braves up a little bit and dips on that apron. That's going to be the only shot you got at it, because there's no way you're going to pass him on the outside with with zero banking, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. As they come off of turn number 4, Ray Rogers not able to mount any kind of shot here at Garrett Kinder, and the caution is out for the stage. So your stage 1 winner is Garrett Kinder, who led every lap there. And Kinder Farm and Ranch is obviously really, really thrilled with that stage 1 win. Now, I know he'd love to get the victory, but he's going to have 90 laps to go from here on out, probably about 85 when we go back green. So we can expect pit stops, 4 tires and fuel. No reason why you wouldn't, especially since it seems like it's going to be a green flag type of race. Definitely don't want to put yourself behind the 8 ball, even if tires don't matter that much, which I think they might. But definitely everybody's gonna come down pit road here, huh? What do you think, Dakota?
Yeah, for sure. And if I'm towards the back, I might play around and take 2 just to get out front and get that clean air, and just run my line and try to hold these guys off, because as you can tell, passing's very scarce right now. So you might see somebody, try to turn this on its head.
I like that. I hope we see that, because that would make it exciting, and I think that's not a bad idea. We'll check in and see once they go back green what kind of lap times are running. But yeah, I'd be excited to see if somebody might try to take that chance. Now, as far as drivers that were on the move, Chris Bedwell made it up to 6th position. Dana Shepard up to, I think it was either 5th or 7th. As we watch pit lane here. Garrett Kinder going to win the battle off of pit road, but I think you're on the money there, Dakota. I think we saw some strategy calls. I reckon, heck, there's a couple folks that, unless I'm just missing something, went down pit road but didn't actually do anything.
Yeah, I think there was about 3 of them that just drove straight on through. I think it was Dana, the 3 of Alan Smith, and someone else. I think they just waved their pit guys on. Was like, nah, we're just gonna go on back out.
Well, I'm confused as all get out, because here they come down pit road now, and that's not good. That they're going to cycle all the way towards the back of this field, so I'm not really sure. Maybe we can get somebody up in here once the pit road. Oh, Dana Shepard slides through his pit stall. We'll get and Aaron Adcock does too. He tried to park in the number 3 pit stop as he was coming in. So, yeah, interesting stuff going on here. Be interested to talk to maybe one of those real quick. But, hey, let's talk to our Stage 1 winner as we're about to go green. So let's not. We've already talked somewhat during the qualifying. That was a really quick caution. So be interested to see what's going on. Unless there's some sort of fuel thing that guys are worried about. That's the only reason why I could see you go around one more time. Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused. Dakota, you got any ideas?
I don't know. Luckily, race control just extended the caution to let these guys that had these miscues, let them get caught back up, because they was fixing to take the green.
Well, let's bring our Stage 1 winner up into the booth. Garrett Kinder, this is Eddie and Dakota in the booth. Got a copy?
Sure.
Well, man, I know y'all about to go green. We'll keep it short, but you led every lap there in that first stage. You're trying to lock yourself into the next round of the playoffs here with a win. Ray Rogers looking strong. What do you need to do to get it done?
Stay in front of the 51.
10-4. And do you have any insight on maybe what happened with the drivers who stayed out and went through pit road and had to come back in?
Pit road's acting a little bit wonky. Didn't count anybody down to their pit box, so they all just blew past their boxes.
Okay, so keep the 51 behind you and don't miss your pit box. Seems to be a good strategy for the 13 tonight. All right, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you.
You can tell he's focused. You can tell he was very straight to the point. wasn't joshing around. He's ready to go, Dakota, as we get ready to go green here. As Garrett Kinder going to lead us down. He said himself, keep the 51 behind. Now, why, Dakota, would you want to keep the 51 behind you?
If you give Ray Rogers an inch, he'll take a mile. So, once he gets the lead, you might as well just write him the big check.
That is absolutely right. But he does get a great jump. He's going to try to pull Alan Nash with him. As we got a nice little battle back here for the top 5. I mean, the whole top 10 is there side by side. 3 wide there. That's Bedwell going to go down to the inside. He actually, he may have decided maybe that's not the right time to do that. Backed out of it before that turn. But, man, look at this racing here on this restart as Ray Rogers gets loose. It almost gets into the wall as he really struggled off that corner. He probably shifted her down into 3rd gear, got the tires a-spinning, and now he is falling backwards. Ray Rogers, who was sitting 2nd on this restart, finds himself in trouble with falling all the way out of the top 5.
Yeah, he's going to continue to keep falling back unless he can get back to the bottom real quick.
Yeah, guys cannot wait to take advantage of that. Now, Matt Rogers, I would imagine, might let him in here, and he definitely does. But let's talk a little bit about these guys in the back. We talked about Aaron Adcock needing to win. Man, I got all the way up to 4th place and then missed your pit stop. Missed your pit stall. Good Lord. That's tough. It's tough. Those mistakes are what, I don't know if there's something wrong with, the pit road or whatever, but missing your pit stall, having to start at the back of this field for this last stage is going to make it tough to get that W, as we are, under 100 laps here, and we've already seen how difficult it is to pass. Trying to go from the back to the front once, maybe you can get it done, but twice, I don't know. Not on this long run. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's going to be one of the ones who's going to have to try to flip the strategy and maybe pit a little bit earlier, maybe take 2, just, whatever he can do to be in position to win or, get his point situation a little bit better.
Yeah. In races, there's a lot of psychology that goes into racing. Racing is there's a lot of mental things that go into it, and it's so easy, especially even in sim racing. You race in real life, so you can tell me what it's like. But it's so easy to get in your head after something like that, where you just kind of go, "Oh, well, I guess my race is done." We saw C. Bell do that in at Chicago at Street Course when he had that issue, and just like, "Well, I guess I'm done," and wasn't able to get the win. So you get in your head, and you can actually be your own worst enemy when you have problems.
Yeah, for sure. I know that all too well in real life. I've had my tires knocked off. I've had my toe knocked in a mile. I've wrote it off as done, but then you come in and you can get a little bit of it fixed, and really just keep your head down and, like you said, stay out of your head and, just take the positions as they come and, just don't let it get to you if something bad happens, because, you got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah, for sure. Well, taking good with the bad is definitely Chris Bedwell's MO tonight, as he got a really nice qualifying position in 4th, had the EOL, went to the back, and now look, as he is, we were talking about Ray Rogers, who has made his way back up to the 3rd position, but Chris Bedwell has taken that 2nd spot away from Alan Nash, and now he is putting the pressure here on our leader, Garrett Kinder. Garrett was worried about the 51. Maybe the 95 is somebody we need to be worried about, as, man, he has blasted through the field, and he is ready to take that next step into becoming a champion here, as he would like to move himself to the next round. So, man, we've got a nice little battle here that's going to shape up. Now, what are they doing to their tires? How much is tire wear going to affect these guys? We're 10 laps into this stint and already falling off about 4/10. So we'll see as the run goes on exactly how much fall off there is, but there is enough. We'll see. We saw Ray Rogers light the rears up a little bit earlier, so I don't know if tire saving is – oh, my goodness, is Bedwell tries to look down to the inside, and I think Garrett Kidder wasn't expecting it, and boy, did they do a great job of hanging on to it. Bedwell almost loses it into the grass, but able to keep it going straight and still on the attack here on lap 44.
Yeah, that was a little Earnhardt-esque, passing the grass right there, even though he didn't finish it off, but, that was a heck of a job to keep that thing, straight.
Yeah, there's just so many good drivers here that they can beat and bang and get sideways and whatnot and keep the thing going. And so I'm sure Bedwell's heart rate, if we had a heart rate monitor on him, probably went through the roof and needs to calm himself down just a little bit. But cool those tires off, get right back on the attack. I mean, he just looks so freaking fast right now. It's really impressive to see what this 95 machine can do. He's been one of the few drivers I've seen get to the middle better than anybody else. We'll see. We'll listen in and see what he's doing as far as shifting goes. Yeah, actually here he's not shifting in 3 and 4. We'll see down in 1 and 2 what he does. So interesting. Bedwell, one of the drivers we've seen get through the middle and exit a lot better than these guys, is not shifting. So interesting to see that. It's something to that. Dakota, you got any ideas? I mean, the only thing I can think of is just the act of shifting down and then shifting back up can be a detriment maybe. I don't know, but he seems to be rolling the center and getting a little bit better exit while staying in fourth gear.
Yeah, he's I definitely think he's got the best truck in the field right now. He's staying right on Kinder's back bumper as he goes to make the pass right here for the lead.
Yeah, and just makes it without much issue at all. And so, man, that 95 machine really strong. And, we were, 13's going to get loose. He's going to save it as he's trying to keep that track position and not let the 51 get around him. But, man, what a drive by Chris Bedwell. Now the battle is on for second place. Is Ray Rogers going to put a little pressure on Garrett? So I don't know what happened to Garrett. I mean, he was really strong there early and late at that run. So don't know if he's saving tires or maybe just, Bedwell and Ray Rogers found something a little bit extra. I don't know.
Yeah, Bedwell's definitely, he's pulling away right here. So he definitely has found something that's working.
And so Ray Rogers takes over the second position. Garrett Kinder just moves over. Felt like it was inevitable. As you can hear, just no shifting out of the 95. He's just letting the thing bog down, and don't know. It's really interesting. He's just not having to deal with the rear tire spin off the corner like these other guys are, and that may be what's helping him. Sometimes, you kind of shift thinking that, I'm getting more power, but you may not realize you're just spinning the tires. Ray Rogers gets close to that wall. Holy moly. Really pushing that truck. That 51 Toyota is moving now. Garrett Kinder has fallen off the pace quite a bit, so not really sure what's going on with that 13 machine as he is falling back quickly after losing the lead to the 95 machine. But right now, Ray Rogers trying to hunt him down. Ray 2/10 faster that last lap, so this is going to be a bar burner between these two guys, I bet. Lap 51 of 120. See if we got some stuff going on through the field. Aaron Adcock, after missing his pit stall, having to go to the back pretty much, has made his way back up into the 8th position. Going to need a caution, though. I mean, Bedwell, Ray Rogers, they're going to be gone. So Aaron doing a good job, though. As it goes down to the inside, Kunkel has some sort of issue, it looked like. And Aaron was able to get down to the inside. Kunkel, they're going to come back, do the crossover. Got the tires all the way on the rumble strip. 17 going to try to get the run. He needs off the corner to clear the 48, and he does. So Kunkel going to fall back to that 8th position. Now he's under fire from Dana Shepard. Man, Dana has looked really good tonight. I don't know if this is Dana's track or not, but he seems to take to it really well. Up into the top 5 earlier, falling back a little bit now, but still a net positive of 3 spots over where he started. It looks like Dana Shepard was another one of those drivers that missed his pit stall. He came back around with Aaron Adcock. So Aaron leading the charge of that group. Charles Stevens is right behind Dana here. But everything's starting to settle down, but unless you're up front. Ray Rogers has tracked down the 95. Everybody's biggest fear. Ray Rogers is going to take the lead, but I believe he's going to have to fight him. Ray Rogers not a playoff driver, so he can just kind of pin the ears back, go trophy hunting, but Bedwell wants to be able to lock himself into the next round of the playoffs, so he's going to be fighting just as hard. It's just as important to him as it is to Ray Rogers. So these guys have pulled away by about 1.7 seconds over Garrett Kinder.
And you know Bedwell's got that chip on his shoulder. He had the EOL to start this race, and he's had to had to truck his way through the field, and he wants to win this thing.
Yeah. Oh man, ain't no doubt about that. When it never feels good because you don't always see eye to eye with the with admin calls sometimes, and sometimes you kind of feel like, well, I mean, I can't really argue it. It's already been called. It's done. But the best way I can go out there and kind of make up for it is go out there and win this race. And I mean, so far he's just shown so much speed, but man, 51 is just pretty unbelievable right now. I can just see. I can tell Ray Rogers, and I've raced around him enough, that when he is better, he doesn't try to go for the pass immediately. He wants to put you in a position where you're going to make a mistake, and right there, oh my goodness, they almost made contact off the corner. That was really close, as Bedwell was a little bit off the groove, and man, the 51 got a nice run there, and they almost came together in the racing groove. And that just highlights why it's so tough to pass. I mean, Ray needed to push out off the corner to keep his momentum and not scrub any speed off. And they almost come together there. So Bedwell doing everything he can. He's dumping all the dirty air on him, trying to keep the 51 from being able to get underneath. But, man, Ray is just hanging back the old Jeff Gordon style, where you go down in there and just, hey, let's see if you can make a mistake. How much of this can you deal with? As Ray's going to try a new line. They're here in 1 and 2, way up the track. Going to try to get a nice run off the corner, see if that works. Honestly, it's one of my favorite things to do. When someone's fighting hard, you can do one of two things. You can push your truck even harder to try to make the pass when someone is battling and defending as much as they can to hold on to that spot. Or you can do one of my favorite things, which is put your bumper right on their bumper and not let them think about anything else. They're trying to think about their line, their braking point. Nope, I'm going to put my bumper right here. I want you to see me every single turn, everything that you make. Look up in that rear view. I'm there. And that's kind of what Ray Rogers is doing here. He's like, all right, I don't think I can pass you by gassing up off the corner, so I'm going to put my bumper right here and make you think about me for the next 60 laps. If you can make that happen, then you deserve to win. That's probably one of my favorite things to do, just see if you can handle the pressure of somebody being right on your bumper. And right now, Bedwell looks like he's doing a good job of it, Dakota, but how long can he last?
I don't know. Maybe that was the motive of Garrett Kinder, dropping back to third. Maybe he's like, man, I'm gonna let these two dogs fight this out and then let them wear themselves out, and I'm gonna go get this steak at the end of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great point. And we've seen it time and time again. The leaders get up there and they're battling. We talk about psychology a little bit. As Ray gets a nice run through the middle of the corner. I mean, he's definitely so much faster. Just so difficult to make the pass. But we talk about psychology and a lot in racing, and just it makes a huge difference. These guys get up here, and one guy is parking it in the middle of the corner, just trying to defend his position. The other guy gets mad about that, so he goes in there and gives him a little bump. Well, then the other guy gets mad, and it just escalates to a breaking point where eventually there's going to be contact and fireworks start flying. Even someone like Ray Rogers can succumb to that, I believe. I know you very rarely see it happen, but I feel like everybody's got a little bit of road rage in them sometime. You're just going so fast in cars, racing side by side, inches away from each other. It's only natural to have those type of feelings. And right now, I mean, Ray is just putting an onslaught on the back bumper of this 95 machine. But hey, give it to Bedwell. He is not giving up an inch here.
Yeah, I feel like we're in round 10 of a heavyweight title fight here. These guys, they're throwing haymakers left and right, and you got Garrett Kenner and Alan Ash back here. They're just set on cruise control. They're just they're just out for a sunny drive.
Yeah, I love that analogy with boxing. That's exactly what this is like. As crossing the line, we'll check the times. I mean, Ray Rogers and Bedwell both running flats. 31 flat. Garrett Kinder in 31.1, so not too far off, but just a little bit slower. Alan Nash and the rest of the top 5 are all in the 4s, so Bedwell, Ray Rogers, definitely the heavyweight for sure, as they are racing as close as they are and still putting down the fastest lap times. Well, I want to move off this battle, Dakota, but I just can't. I can't keep my eyes off of it. I feel like we're going to be here for maybe another 50 laps, but and Bedwell gets a little bit loose there off the corner. You saw the wiggle from the 95 machine, so but the 51 not able to do anything with it. I hate to change the camera because, golly, I know we got other drivers out there, but, man, these guys are racing their guts out. I love to see it. Got a lot of Dana Shepherd fans in the chat. Give you an idea. I know you can see it on the back side or on the left side of the screen. But, Garrett Kinder coming down pit road. One of those calls you talked about, Dakota, coming down pit road early. Try to make some time up on the undercut as he comes down and opens up pit road for what should be the final time.
Yeah, for sure. And, it only takes one to come down pit road for other guys to start thinking about, hey, do I come in now? Do I come in 5-10 laps from now? What do I want to do?
Well, he comes out of pit road, so we'll see if anybody else decides to do the same thing. And his affiliate teammate, Alan Nash, coming down as well, along with Charles Stevens. So these guys coming down to make their final pit stops. And we got Dana Shepherd in the chat. I'm a crowd pleaser, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about Dana Shepherd as they're cheering him on. Dana Shepherd climb as he is moving up through the field. A couple guys have pitted, but Dana Shepherd, after that mistake of missing the pit stall under that caution, has moved himself into the 4th position. Aaron Adcock right in front of him. Man, I'm super, super impressed with Dana Shepherd's confidence tonight and just the ability to get around this track, making passes, and just continues to move up through the field. I think if there's a dark horse out there tonight, I think Dana Shepherd's got as good a shot as anybody to get the win tonight. I think Ray Rogers, and it's there, and Chris Bedwell's coming down pit road, so he'll give up the lead. And so now the leader's coming down pit road. But talking again about Dana Shepherd, I think, now James Kunkel's going to go down to the inside, but Dana has really shown a lot of strength here tonight. He's going to fight back on the outside. The 48's going to, they make contact! And James Kunkel goes around, and surely that's going to be a caution. No caution yet, as Kunkel is sitting on the track, and there it is. Caution comes out here. First non-stage caution of the night for James Kunkel as he goes around, and he is going to have to tow.
And Chris Bedwell was on pit road when that caution come out too.
Yeah, I mean, that right in the middle of the pit cycle, and we'll go back and watch that again, and we'll watch it from Kip Easley's. Watch it from Kip Easley's camera here in just a second, but he had a front row seat for this. Let's take a look at the Kinder Farm Ranch wreckage rewind here, and you can see Dana and James Kunkel here right in front of them as they go down into the corner, and you're going to see Kunkel going to get onto that apron, and that really upset the truck, and you can see he's kind of chasing it as Dana is trying to get that angle off the corner, and Kunkel just loses front grip, it looks like, as they really are pushing it. And honestly, just looks like sort of a racing incident. It's hard to really say in those moments, but Kip Easley actually goes around as well. I kind of missed that earlier, but contact between Kunkel brings out our first non-stage caution of the night. Take a look at that one more time at a different camera angle. We'll slow it down, and I'll tell you what, Dakota, tell me what you think. Coming off the corner and just gets that right hook into the wall.
Yeah, I think where Kunkel hit that yellow rumble strip down there on the bottom, I think it really just upset his truck and, kind of shot him up the track, right there in front of Dana. and Dana had nowhere to go.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. And what a great job by the number 8 machine of Kip Easley. Even though he spun out, stayed out of the wall. I mean, that could have been disastrous for him, too, a playoff driver. But he was able to get it back going. So, good job by him. But as we come off of pit road now, just some odd positioning things here. I mean, right now, Bedwell shows in the lead as Edgerton, Charles Stevens, Alan Nash all on the tail end of the lead lap. I believe Garrett Kinder was the lucky dog, if I'm not mistaken. I think I might be mistaken. I think Alan Nash may be getting that here soon. But these guys will at least get a wave around, get back on lead lap. I don't think it's going to hurt really too many folks other than Garrett Kinder, who pitted a lot earlier. He's going to be he'll be probably okay. He's 6 lap older tires than most everybody, so that's going to be a disadvantage for him, and he's going to be in the 11th position. So as far as Garrett Kinder, Alan Nash, those guys got hurt the worst by that. But Bedwell comes out with the lead, so I think that's a plus for him.
Yeah, and don't look now because you got Aaron Adcock's going to be firing right off behind Bedwell. So, if he can stay right on Bedwell's bumper, he might be able to clear Ray going into 1 and try his hand at taking Bedwell down.
Yeah, and we'll see what he can do up front. I mean, we saw him have to drop through the field, kind of stalled out around the top 5, but what can he do when he doesn't have to drop through the field? He can really focus on saving his stuff and working on these drivers. But getting ready to go green. Pace truck takes a hard left. Chris Bedwell going to take the green flag here. And, man, he gets a hell of a start. And that's exactly what you said. Aaron Adcock going to go down to the inside and see if he can get it gassed up to get around Ray. Ray gets a nice run around the outside, though. I don't know if the 17 is going to be able to clear him. He's not going to be able to. And I think Ray's going to get the run down the straightaway, and Aaron going to fall back into that 3rd position. But a good attempt there by the 17 to get around that 51 machine. But we'll see what he's got here. It's a little bit wide off the corner, but he'll settle in here in 3rd place.
Yeah, if I was Aaron, I think I would let these two go back to throwing haymakers and, make sure you keep everyone behind you and, let these two boys wear themselves out and then, clean the scraps.
Oh, a 3 wide almost. Matt Rogers looks down at the inside of Daniel Holcroft and Willie Evernham on the outside, and Holcroft going to come out with that position, but, man, almost 3 wide there. That was a scary moment. Is now Willie Evernham going to drive down to the inside. Oh, caution is out. Caution is out as I think Chuck Pegleg might have gone around along with Stephen Ayers or made some contact. See if we can't locate exactly what happened, but caution out again as Stephen Ayers has gone around in that 62 machine. Take a look at it on the Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind here. Watch the white and red 62 machine here up on the, he's kind of out of the groove, gassing it up, and just gets a little bit loose, goes around right in front of Chuck Pegleg Felts. He makes contact on the front end of that 75 machine, and the 62 goes around. Just a little bit loose on those cold tires, getting up out of the groove. There's no grip up there, and when tried to gas it up, and that's all she wrote. See him up there out of that groove, and he's trying to gas it up, get off the corner, and those tires just not up to temperature just yet. And after that, it's just a pinball getting bounced around. Well, obviously, just came down pit road, so we won't see any takers, I don't believe. So with just about 40 laps to go, it's going to be interesting to see It's getting down to crunch time. I think with how hard it is to pass, I think if you're not up into the top 5 at the moment, it's going to be very difficult for you to get up there and even contend for the win. But Chris Bedwell, Ray Rogers seems like they're in a league of their own. So I think the battle is going to continue to be right there. But, so many things can happen. We saw guys get cycled out of the lead with just the way the cautions fell. I think they can probably make it on fuel from here, so I don't think we'll see a green flag pit stop. But, we never know what can happen. But I got to think we're going to be watching this 51 and 95 battle all the way to the checker flag.
Yeah, for sure. I think whoever's in third place, with 2 or 3 laps to go is really going to be in the catbird seat because, you can only throw haymakers for so long, and then, somebody's eventually going to land this knockout punch, and it might take both of them out.
Yeah. Well, talk to about a couple drivers who are on the move right now. Daniel Holcroft up 9 position where he started. He's having a dang good run after, honestly, running. I keep watching his name, trying to see if he's going to come up through the field, but right now, he's been pretty much in the back the whole time, and here with this the cycle, the pit stops and whatnot, he is up into the top 5. So just one of those days where you have to sometimes you say, okay, I may not have the speed, but get in track position, put myself in good positions. You may not have the speed you need to race your way up through there, but if you put yourself in those positions, either you can look around you, watch what other guys do and try to emulate that, improve over time, or just, making it hard to pass, track position, find yourself in the top 5 and find yourself with a really nice finish. So I got to highlight him as he is currently the Kyle Roberts handmade leather hard charger at the moment. But, man, he's got a bunch of hungry hippos behind him. Matt Rogers, Willie Evernham have been really, really strong here in the back half of the top 10. But we got some guys trying to come up through the field. Dana Shepard, Garrett Kinder, Alan Nash, Charles Stevens, all those guys want to move up. I think this battle in the 6th, 7th, 8th position, I think it's going to be a wild one for the rest of the race. But up front, it is Bedwell going to start first on this restart, and we saw Aaron Adcock try to get a good jump with Bedwell. See if he can do that again. Try to clear the 51, maybe give himself a shot. As you see all those playoff banners, Ray Rogers, the only one without one. Pretty much all the way back to, looks like James Kunkel. So, a lot of playoff drivers. And another, golly, green flag is out, and Aaron is able to, and I think that is a really good strategy on Bedwell's part. You wonder if you're not trying to help that 17 because you know how fast Ray Rogers is. You might want to pull the 17 along, and Dakota, strategy worked perfect.
Yeah, for sure. If I was Bedwell, I think I'd have sent Aaron a private message, be like, hey, I'm going here, you step on it too, and, we'll keep his 51 behind us.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right because, man, the 17 got a great jump. Let's see if the 17 has something he can dig down deep and find a little extra. I can tell you right now, Aaron, he'll surprise you, man. He'll come out of nowhere. You think, oh, he may not have the speed to win tonight, and then dadgummit if he ain't up there battling for the lead for too long. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit if he found a little extra here to get up there and win. Right now, though, he is now the recipient of the Ray Rogers Intimidation Award. It's the 51 truck now all over the back bumper of the 17, but Aaron's doing a great job. Bedwell had a bad lap that last lap, and he could see the front end or the rear end of that 95 as I'm having a stroke here on the mic. But Aaron not going to let him get away. You see, he's starting to get close up there on that 95 machine. Now the front stretch gets a nice run. That 17 is getting closer and closer. He's got the 51 right on his bumper as you see Stephen Ayers coming out of pit road. Had to make an unscheduled green flag pit stop. Must be a penalty or either some damage repair. But Aaron looks calm, cool, and collected. You can see how much focus is going on this. He's going to get a run as Bedwell gets a little bit out of shape, and here he goes. The boss man going to make a pass for the lead here on lap 86. Can he make the pass? He's going to try to make it on the outside as they come off the corner, and we couldn't be further away due to the camera work, but right now not able to complete the pass, and here comes Ray Rogers, going to take advantage. The 17, though, man, he is showing that he is here to race, and he's going to get right to the back bumper. Has to check up just a little bit, and that's going to give Ray Rogers the inside track. As Ray's going to get down to that left rear quarter panel and go down the straightaway, and now 51, the 17 smartly, I think, lets him go. The thing you've been talking about, Dakota, all race long is being in that third position, trying to take advantage of the front two battling, and that's exactly what Ray Rogers did, and now I think Aaron wants to do the same.
Yeah, for sure. And, Aaron, he's one of the hardest racers that I've ever, raced with. And, he's also one of the smartest too. So it's pretty good strategy, to let these two go back to, knocking each other around a little bit.
Yeah, we've got a wide range of experience levels. And it's funny. I don't think length of time really means anything as far as your skill level here on iRacing. I don't think you can just spend a lot of time and that just automatically means you're good. But, we've got a lot of skill levels. Ray Rogers been on the service for a long time. Alan Nash, I believe, has been on as a long time as well. But then, you've got Aaron Adcock, who's only been on for, iRacing for a year or two. But you can just see all those different skill levels and how long these guys have been on the sim. For somebody that's only been racing for, a couple years, I'd say it has really, really improved a lot. But, man, look, we're right back to where we were before. Battle of the Goliaths up front. Ray Rogers, man, he is just – it seemed like after 10 laps, man, Ray Rogers comes alive as Aaron Adcock was up there battling for the lead. Now he is about 7/10 back from these two as Ray is, again, putting the pressure on this 95 machine. Wasn't able to get the pass done last run, but now he's got about 30 laps to get it done. We've seen multiple people try to pass this 95 now that he's got out front. Aaron Adcock tried to go to the outside, not able to get it done. What's Ray going to do here, Dakota? We know Ray's not the type of guy to really just run through there and knock a guy out of the way, but what other option does he have?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it's going to have to be, a smash to pass or, hope Bedwell makes a mistake. But on the flip side of that, Bedwell is a playoff driver, so, Ray really doesn't want to, shake the playoffs up, by maybe turning Bedwell and, ruining a good points tonight.
Yeah. I think Ray is one of those guys to be cognizant of that and not allow for that to happen. But, it'd be interesting to see. If Ray is one of the smartest drivers I've seen in my time throughout the different leagues that I've run. And so if there's somebody who can figure out a way to do it. We saw him last run try to get up to the high side and make a move like that, try to get that outside line to get the run down the straightaway to get that inside track. That seems to be the problem right now, is just not able to get the RPMs up, get the run off the corner that you need to get the speed down the straightaway to get inside of somebody. You see Ray actually coming off the corner a little wide there. So we've seen him try to dime in the corner a little bit, drive up, sort of what Bedwell's doing here and getting a straight run off the corner. Here we go. Ray gets a run down the straightaway. It's time. Ray Rogers has finally been able to get the move, and now they're going to battle down into the corner. And I think if you're Bedwell, I think you just got to let him go. I think you're probably pretty fast. You're going to try the crossover, but Ray is going to be there. I don't know if he's going to be able to complete it. And oh, my goodness, gets loose trying to make that pass back. But I think if you're Bedwell, this is a pretty dang good point stay if you can finish in second. Not worth making mistakes. So Ray Rogers out to the lead here on lap 94. I said he had 30 laps to do it, and he did it in 4. Dakota, textbook pass, too. I like it. we talked about how difficult it's going to be to pass, but he just waited for that one little moment where he could get that front end on the left rear corner, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said earlier, you give Ray an inch, he's going to take a mile or more, and he's starting to leg it out here.
Yeah, I mean, immediately pulling away from Chris Bedwell. So check in on some other battles that we might be having throughout the field. Try to find you one that's pretty close. I said this 6th through 10th little group would be probably a real racy one this run, and that's kind of proven to be the case. Daniel Holcroft falling a little bit back to 6th position as Kip moves his way up into the top 5, and Willie Evernham, after a rough week last week, finds himself up into the 4th position, so he's having a dang good run. Started in 5th position, running 4th, so Willie Evernham having a great start to this race. If he can finish, finishing for Willie has been a tough ask. He's had a lot of trouble at the end of these races. So if he can get and come home in a 4th position, that's a pretty good start for him, and would definitely help his playoff bid to get into the final 8. As man, look back here, we got this battle. Garrett Kinder getting sideways off the corner. I mean, it wouldn't be an Apex race if that 13 wasn't yawed out about 45 degrees off the corner. Man, just one of the most. I talk about it a bunch, and it sounds weird because I keep talking about it, but I just love the way Garrett Kinder races. He kind of just gloves off all the time. He loves to get out there and just sling the truck around or car, whatever it is. If he ain't sideways, he ain't having fun. But he's one of the only cats I've seen to be able to drive these NASCAR cars with a sensitive tire model, get them sideways, but still be fast. And he can do it. He can do it with the best of them. And dadgummit, if he don't have fun doing it, I tell you, he'll get sideways, and most guys will be pissed or upset or, irritated. But Garrett Kinder gets sideways, and boy, he's got a big old smile on his face. You hear him laughing. He just has a good time. And I've honestly tried to emulate his attitude toward racing on iRacing over the last year or two, just because he just has a blast doing it. So right now, yeah, he'd love to be up there winning the race after that cycle, but I can guarantee you he's having a good time. Right now he is slicing and dicing through these guys. He's got around Holcroft. He's gotten around easily. Now he's looking to try to take over that 4th position for Willie. He's going to get to the inside. So Garrett, with the oldest tires on the track, is making the best moves, and is going to get himself. Oh, they're going to make a little bit of contact. We'd love to see it. That's why we got bumpers and fenders there, Dakota.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, Garrett's one of these gloves off kind of drivers, and we've seen it right there. Sometimes eight tires turns better than 4 every day.
Yeah, and they're way. Oh, we're gonna have a 3 wide situation. As Kip easily slides up a little bit in the corner, almost makes contact with the 91, and Daniel Holcroft tried to maybe go to the inside. Eventually gives it up so Kip can take over that position, but. I was sitting there bragging on Willie Evernham, and boy, if he ain't in trouble right now. He's stuck on that outside, and the guys are just going to drive by him. As now here comes Alan Nash looking to maybe make it 3 wide. Holcroft going to try to – oh, and man, Daniel drives it into the corner where they're going to be 3 wide off the corner. Well, these boys are racing hard. I love to see it. Holcroft going to slide in and out of that to go all the way back to the 9th position. But, boy, that looked like it was fun. As he really slid through there. And oh, my goodness, Willie Evernham going to take a inside track, get on those rumble strips and make a little contact with Dana Shepard as he's trying to fight back. I mean, he was running 4th a few laps ago. Now he's 8th. Well, these guys are making this race exciting out front. Ray Rogers making it boring. Good grief, Ray. Come on, man. I mean, we got to take a tire or something off of Ray's truck. I mean, he is blasting off into the ether as he is 1.2 seconds back or ahead of Chris Bedwell, who is doing the best he can to keep pace with it. But Ray Rogers just a little bit faster each and every lap and just slowly pulling away. But you see the gap from Bedwell back to Aaron Adcock, who's just coming off a turn 4 now, 5 seconds back from the leader, Ray Rogers. As we go back and watch this cluster, you know what, back here, that it's just looks like it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Ray definitely don't want to see a caution come out now, with as hard as these guys is racing. Ray's got himself a comfortable lead. He can just ride this thing on out. But, we get a late race caution, the gloves is off through the field.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I can't say I don't want to see it. I would definitely like to see a late race caution. I mean, I'm in the broadcasting business. I'm not in the racing business, so any kind of drama or excitement I'll take. But there's plenty right here. I'm telling you, right here in this little back half of the top 10, has just been a blast to watch. As Willie is just trying to stop the bleeding here. It's just falling off a cliff. So I don't know if he burned his tires up. He just got that unlucky situation where he ended up on the top side as a line of cars went by. But he's now trying to hold off Daniel Holcroft and Matt Rogers here. But, a caution here would change everything. I mean, the times are about a second off of their best lap, so it falls off about a second here. That would, I think, enough to make me want to go down and get 4 tires. So you might see a 2-tire stop or something like that to get that track position. But I think, if we get another 10 laps or so, 8 laps, and caution comes out, I think we'll see guys just stay out. And this battle continues to rage on, man. Willie Evernham, Daniel Holcroft, Matt Rogers. Look like they're having a blast out there. I'm gonna be honest. I said I'm not before we went live, Dakota. I said, man, I'm not really a big fan of Milwaukee, but I don't know. Maybe I've been thinking wrong about this track. It looks like it's a lot of fun to race on. Slightly frustrating, but this racing has been really good.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a product of these old worn out tires. Guys searching all over for any amount of grip they can get, and that opens up for the guys behind them to maybe put a nose in there and see if they can race heads up for the spot.
See just how bogged down Matt Rogers' truck is right now. Going board with Dana Shepard, who's got a couple drivers right in front of him. He'd love to get by and find his way back in the top 5. Been running up there that last little bit before that caution came out. Really hurt his strategy, but still definitely in the running for the Kyle Roberts Handmade Leather Hard Charger Award winner. Good Lord, it's a mouthful. We got to shorten that up a little bit. But started 12th, running in 7th. Right now he's watching this battle between Alan Nash and Kip Easy. A little bit of contact as Kip really trying to defend that position. Does not want to let Alan Nash get to his inside, as he knows that he's going to be in trouble. You don't want to lose it to get. If he gets stuck up on the outside, then Dana Shepard comes right around. So you want to fight here, but man, Alan Nash gets down to the inside and he looks at Kip, knows something. Knows there's really not much he can do. Allen going to go down to the inside, and he's going to have that position. So Kip going to try to fight back on the outside. Here comes Dana Shepard, though, to the inside to try to take that position away from that 8 truck. I tell you what, the 8 truck, one of the best-looking trucks on the track. That 8, I don't know what that is, some sort of transport, but I really like the way that thing looks. I think, Dakota, you could tell me, is he a Kyle Busch fan?
Yeah, I think he is, because, in the other leagues he runs, it's like he's got a Kyle Busch scheme every week. So I think we got a big Kyle Busch guy here.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I really like that red and black truck as he is trying to fight back and get back to that 27 machine. Actually gets a run on him here. He's going to drive down the corner, maybe give him a little bumper, backs off just a little bit. But the 27 slides up the track, maybe a little bit nervous about some contact being there as he grabs that fourth gear, not able to get the run to 27. And now here comes Dana Shepard down to the inside. Kip closes the door on that 43. Boy, this is a battle right here. I love this. Man, give me more of this. My goodness.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we might get that late race caution if they keep pushing like this.
I know it. Well, 5 laps to go for your leader, Ray Rogers, who is a 2.0 seconds ahead of second place Chris Bedwell. Aaron Adcock about 9.1 seconds back from Ray Rogers. I mean, just incredible. What a drive by Ray. As he comes and takes what would be 5 to go now. But, yeah, just no surprise. I mean, he won 2 in a row, could have won 3, and is going to win 3 out of the last 4 if he can get this thing done now. 5 laps to go for the 51 Toyota. Pretty much clean track. He's got one driver out in front of him. That's the, I believe, the 75 of Chuck Pegleg Felts and Anthony Edgerton right in front. But not that much pressure. If he catches them, I'm sure they'll move over and let him go. But you know, I kind of feel like, you know, there's a broadcaster curse where you talk about a driver and then they have an accident or something goes wrong. But I feel like it's the reverse curse for Ray Rogers, who, you know, I kept calling him out for starting in the back and he'd finish 4th, and I'd be like, man, Ray, why don't you qualify, man? Qualify and get up there and race these boys. And, you know, I guess he just likes starting in the back and having fun driving up through the field. But here in the last 5 or 6 weeks, he started qualifying, and man, he is just a monster, and it has shown just how good he is as he's been able to take control pretty much of every race. I believe his I rating's over 5,000, so that's really, really impressive. But I mean, a lot of times people hear that and they go, "Oh, these high I rating guys," but Ray kind of breaks the mold, in my opinion. One of the nicest guys I know. Everybody has good things to say about Ray Rogers. That's the thing about him. I don't know anybody who says a bad word about him. He's really, really fast. He's extremely clean. I can't remember any time he's gotten into it with another driver. I mean, to me, he's one of the best. And so white flag is out though for Ray Rogers. He's got a 2.1 second lead. He should be able to bring this thing home. Caution doesn't matter now. This thing is in the books, so coming to 3 and 4, Ray Rogers going to complete the mission and get the win here in Milwaukee Mile as he takes home the checkered flag, and he wins 3 out of the last 4 races. Ray Rogers, your winner tonight, as he is able to fight through multiple passes for the lead and take the lead there and really just never look back. So congratulations to Ray Rogers as he takes home the win. And Chris Bedwell going to come home in second place, and Aaron Adcock going to roll, finish this one in the 3rd position.
I think we're going to have to petition to make Ray start from the pits next week.
No, we can't do that. I fought for him for so long to start qualifying. Now I don't want to. I don't want him to stop. I want to see how many races he can win here at the end, because he's just so talented. As he burns them down on the front stretch, we'll give you your results here for the end of the race. We talked about the top 3 already. Garrett Kinder, after that ill-timed caution, able to fight back for that 4th position. So a great run for him. That'll be really good for the playoffs. Alan Nash also able to recover to 5th. Kip Beasley in 6th. Dana Shepard, your biggest mover of the race, and we'll go ahead and give him the award right now. Your Kyle Roberts Handmade Leather Hard Charger Award goes to Dana Shepard, who started 12th and came home in 7th. So congratulations, Dana, on winning that award. Willie Abraham comes home in 8th. Daniel Holcroft in 9th. Charles Stevens round out your top 10. In 11th, Matt Rogers. Alan Smith in 12th. Chuck Pegleg Phelps comes home in 13th. James Kunkel in 14th. Tony Edgerton in 15th. And then Stephen Ayers Jr. is going to be your Trigger Time Hard or Jammed Up Award, brought to you by Trigger Time Indoor Shooting Range. That goes to Stephen Ayers, who finishes in 16th, 4 laps down. Well, all right. Well, Dakota, man, that was a lot of fun to watch. Pretty dang good race. We saw a couple cautions that saw some drivers pointing the wrong direction, but we've kind of talked about Ray Rogers a lot, but man, just a dang good race by everybody. Some really good battles through the mid pack, and man, I can't wait to talk to some of these guys, see what they thought. And you know what? Let's go ahead and get started. And we'll talk to the boss man himself, who come home in 3rd position, and we'll talk to Aaron Adcock. And we pull him up into the booth. Aaron, this is Eddie in the booth. Got a copy?
I got a copy on you.
Well, man, you had a great run from the start, and then had an issue where you kind of missed your pit stall. It said something was wrong with the spotter call for pit road. Tell me a little bit about what happened there.
Yeah, I was going down pit road, and all of a sudden it told me pit box in 10, and then it didn't say 5, and then I kept looking, and I was like, all right, well, where's my pit stall? And then I was just following the leader, and next thing I know, I said, well, I done shot over my pit stall. And so it just kind of glitched out. I like to missed it when I come back in the second time, because it done the same thing. And my pit crew wasn't standing where they were supposed to be. So I'm just lucky that I was able to get tires and fuel on it tonight, I guess.
Well, I mean, a damn good job coming back up through the field, though. I mean, you had to start near the back in that restart, and you were able to work your way up through the field. It looked like it was pretty tough to pass. What do you think your strategy was to make those passes and get back to that 3rd place position? I mean, a lot of guys really struggled to make them. What was your trick?
I was just kind of throwing the rear end in there like a dirt late model, and driving the front end down to the apron of the corner, and just waiting on the throttle. And once I felt the truck rotate, just start getting on the gas. You kind of had to. It wasn't like a wide out, jump right back to the throttle, but it wasn't a like an eggshell throttle neither. You could kind of play with it a little bit to help the truck rotate. And once I felt the truck settle, I just started getting back to the throttle. And a lot of guys would kind of miss the bottom, and if you miss the bottom and the guy behind you, kind of, I called it the Harvick line. If you could just hit that white line in 3 and 4 like he used to do at Atlanta, it helped the truck rotate and just get a crazy drive off the exit. But yeah, the end of when I restarted in 3rd there behind Bedwell and next to Ray, yeah, I didn't have no chance. If they wouldn't have showed up, I might would have had a better race. But they walked off and left me like I wasn't even in the race tonight.
Well, I mean, you got to the outside of Ray, and for a moment, it looked like you might take the lead. If you think you could have got out front, do you think you could have maybe held him off?
No, I don't think so. He'd have wrecked me. Not that he would have wrecked me, but he would have he probably would have ended up wrecking me just because I would have been in his way. That's how far out of the league I was tonight. I mean, those two guys they had something figured out. I think they were shifting, and I was trying to, but I just couldn't get the truck to rotate in 3rd gear like I could in 4th gear. So I don't know. Maybe we need to break them things down and see if they got a different rear end in them.
Well, hey, you come home in 3rd place. You had a little slight hiccup, but did recover from it. That's championship form, in my opinion. But missing last week's race, it put you behind. You're pretty far behind. This helps. But going into next week, do you feel like you're kind of at a must-win?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think so. That or a lot of people just not show up next week. But yeah, I think next week is definitely a must-win in my book. And I don't know, done it last year. Let's see if I can do it again. Same track. So
that's right.
Maybe it'll happen.
Well, man, congratulations tonight. I mean, a great run. I mean, it was really impressive to see that. You had really good speed. So congratulations. As always, man, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout-outs?
Yeah, appreciate all the guys that show up week in and week out and help put trucks on the track. I appreciate them. Just real excited about the rest of this playoff run. All the league sponsors, Chuck Pegleg, Felts, Kyle Custom Handmade Leather, Trigger Time, Poman Motorsports, Low Cash Motorsports, V Speed Racing Network. Appreciate you and Dakota being up in the booth tonight. Can't wait to go back and rewatch the replay and listen to the broadcast. And I know y'all always do a good job when y'all are together. So appreciate that. And yeah, just Jimmy at Apex, man, just everything he does to help support us and all, like I said, all these guys that keep showing up, and more especially my teammates at Poman and affiliate teammates at Low Cash. So just all in all, good night.
All right, well, there you have it. Aaron Adcock, your third place finisher, rounds out the podium. And I believe Dakota Wilson is caught up with your second place finisher, Chris Bedwell.
Yeah, Chris Bedwell, this is Dakota Nettie, the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, there's been a lot of great head-to-head matchups in the history. You got Ollie and Frazier, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. I think tonight we can add Chris Bedwell and Ray Rogers to probably some of the greatest battles in history. Kind of talk about your night.
Well, that was very nice of you to say, but I think Ray was just toying with me the whole time. He made me push harder than I wanted to push. On that last long green run we had, I told myself let's just go easy. And then I think I saw him and Aaron battling it out a little bit, so I was like, okay, let's just hit these corner easy, save some tires for the end. And then all of a sudden he's in my rearview mirror, so I started pushing a little too hard, and yeah, he just finally wore me out and got around me and drove away. But other than that, I had to start from the back and patiently, as patient as I could, come up through the field, and just let people make mistakes, overshoot the corner, and just stuck it in that new asphalt on the bottom and rode the line. I wouldn't downshift until probably 10 laps in. I would run in fourth gear for about 10 laps, and then I would start downshifting. I couldn't get it every time in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 I was pretty good. Just my shift points in 1 and 2. I didn't really have a marker that I had in 3 and 4. But all in all, it's a fun night. This is the first time I ever raced this track. Literally just bought it, so it was a lot of fun. I didn't think it would be this long of a race, and meaning not many cautions. So shout out to the rest of the league for having a pretty clean race. And yeah, just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was definitely a treat to watch you, come from the back. Like you said, you had that EOL, and you made it exciting, and just the Ray Rogers effect. It's just he's just so good. But
Yeah.
a very strong second place finish. And do you have anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, thank everybody on the team. Congrats to Dana for a pretty solid run. I think he also had that pit road glitch or something where he couldn't see his pit signs. But I know he pretty well followed me up to the front after him starting in the back. So I think he would have had a much stronger showing had he not had those pit road mistakes or glitches. And thanks to Tony for coming out, keeping it lighthearted in the chat. And thank you guys for broadcasting, and Aaron for putting on the league, and Apex for sponsoring, and all the other league sponsors.
Well, congratulations on a strong second place run. I'll let you get back to your team channel, let y'all kind of assess the night, and look forward to next week's cutoff race.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
Chris Bedwell, your second place finisher, but the man of the hour, your winner. Last 3 out of 4 races, I think. Maybe more. Ray Rogers, your winner here tonight in that Toyota. Ray, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, man.
Well, Justin Miller says in chat, you start in the back because you don't like interviews. Well, dadgummit, if you ain't had an interview for the last 4 races at least. And glad to have you in here tonight as, man, you look like you had a stout truck tonight, constantly battling for the lead. And there with about 27 laps to go, I believe, you took the lead and you never looked back. Talk a little bit about your race, what you were dealing with, what it was like, and how you were able to get that win.
Well, at the beginning, I wasn't going to qualify because I don't like really racing playoff guys. Yeah, I wrecked you the other day. Don't worry about that. But anyways, I don't like. I was surrounded by playoff guys, and I was like, you know what? I really don't want to be up here, but I was like, daggone it, I'm going to get up here and race a little bit. And it's just so much fun to get up in a race with Bedwell and all them because they race you clean. And it wasn't even a matter of being patient. I was just running a very solid line. I was quick. I was fast, and I don't know. I just didn't really want to take a chance of getting into anybody, so I really wasn't forcing any issues there. But I waited for them to make a mistake, and when they made that mistake, when Bell made that one mistake and out of 4, I had a good run, so I just took advantage of it.
Well, I mean, do you think, obviously you were the fastest truck tonight. Bar none. You were constantly up at the front battling. And even Bedwell himself said he thought maybe you were just playing around with him at some point. But what do you think, if you can visualize what you can do better? Because I like to highlight this, not to make you feel weird or say that, you're just so much better than everybody, but I do like to have the perspective of the winner, someone who's able to be a good bit faster than others. What exactly do you think you were doing a little bit differently, and what could others maybe apply next time they come to this track that made you so fast tonight?
Well, one thing I've seen that I've learned from this track is people enter a little higher than normal than what I was entering. This track is a little weird. The corners aren't perfectly round. You got them. It's like two or three corners in one corner because of the way the corners are shaped in here. And I've learned by watching pro guys, officials, you have to hit the bottom. You have to hit that first corner every time. You can't enter high. You can't enter low. You can't do anything. You have to hit it. And I was watching these guys throughout the race. That's kind of what I do throughout, a lot of the races. I'll watch how they enter, and I just kind of learn, where I'm faster and what I need to do to get around them. And if it works, that's great. But this particular track here they were entering too high. And I think it was maybe hurting their right front a little bit. I don't know, but they were in a lot, like a lane higher than I was. So I knew over time that I would eventually get them. All I had to do was keep pressuring them. That's kind of what I did with Bedwell. Is just ride behind him, push him a little bit harder in the corners, made him overdrive the corners a little bit, and that's kind of how I think it ate up his right front a little bit, and then eventually I was able to get around him.
Well, hey, that is some good insight. So if you're listening, you want to know how you can improve, there it is right there. That's the good stuff. That's what we like to hear. Ray, thank you very much for giving us that, and thank you so much for talking to us and winning all these races. It's fun to talk to you, but tell me a little bit about who you got to thank. Sponsor shout-outs.
It's the same people, man. It's you guys in the broadcast booth. I thank you guys as always. I like to go back, watch it the next day. It's always good to hear how you guys, you do a phenomenal job at the broadcast thing. Aaron for putting us on, Apex for being the sponsor of the thing, Garrett Kinder, Chuck Fell. All those guys, all the sponsors for here. Can't thank them all because what would I be doing if it wasn't for these guys? Probably nothing. So I get to do what I like to do. So I can't thank them enough.
Well, there you have it. Ray Rogers, your winner here tonight. The winner of the last 3 out of 4. Just a dang good run in the playoffs. We're kind of highlighting the playoff drivers, but Ray Rogers showing if he would have showed up, he would be a championship favorite. Just missed a few races too many to be eligible for the playoffs, but he is making up for it in the last little bit here as he wins yet again tonight in that 51 Toyota. So. Oh, man. Well, that was a lot of fun. Wasn't expecting it to be that much fun, but it was. But But thank y'all for watching V-Speed. I know probably a couple of y'all clicked off here, but if you go back and watch it, definitely go subscribe to all our channels, V-Speed Racing Network, which you're watching right now, V-Speed 2 and V-Speed, because we're doing all kinds of races. I'm broadcasting on a couple of different of those channels with some different series. So go check those out. Maybe catch a couple broadcasts. It's a lot of fun. And enjoy y'all watching and being active in chat. Definitely appreciate that. But, for tonight, it was just a dang good show, and I mean, these guys put on, we have a really tough night in Richmond, some hurt feelings, some aggravations, or not Richmond, but Lucas Oil. And, we had what we consider at Apex a tough night with a lot of cautions, really long race. And then we come back here at Milwaukee and have a dang good battle all the way through. Battles all over the track. Guys racing hard, making a little contact, but able to keep it together. And just a top-notch product, always at Apex. So want to thank them. Want to thank ApexSimRacing.com. As you see on your screen right there, definitely go check them out. See if they got anything. If you're looking for something to upgrade your rig, you want to add a button box, you want to add a Steam Deck little button box to add on to it, add some stuff to your Fanatec wheel, switches, all kinds of things, man. Go check them out. Maybe you know somebody who likes that type of stuff. We'll get them a gift card. We'll give them a gift card. Get them some stickers. I mean, gosh, there's so much stuff over there. Go check them out. At least browse around. Maybe find something you like and support the series. Who Jimmy really supports us, and we definitely appreciate him. So, want to thank ApexSimRacing.com for supporting this series and sponsoring this league. Jimmy does really, really good work. But that's going to be it here for us, me and Dakota. Dakota, final thoughts about this race tonight.
Yeah, just another classic installment of this hard-nosed racing that these boys put on in Apex. It really makes coming in a broadcast booth. It makes it so much fun when you can call these these just hardcore slobber knocker races. Guys not giving an inch, and then it's fun all around for me and you in the booth. The people watching, the guys on the track. You couldn't ask for nothing better.
Well, definitely appreciate you hopping in the booth, man. It's a lot better. Definitely improved the broadcast with you in the booth, so definitely thank you as well. Thank everybody for watching. Thank Aaron for putting this thing on and keeping it running, keeping all the wheels greased and everything oiled up just nicely. And, man, we're going to have a great run to the end of this thing. We'll look at the schedule for the end of the season. You see there on the right side of your screen in the green, Milwaukee Mile there. Next week at Kansas, which I think will be a freaking blast. And then we go to Bristol, Talladega, Homestead. That is a final four stretch to end at Phoenix there. Those last four races are going to be a lot of fun. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing who's going to come away with the championship. But next week we're going to lock them down to 8 drivers. So 8 folks are going to end up moving on to the next round. So looking forward to that. But y'all, if you ain't subscribed, I never really ever did this in the past. So you'll have to forgive me. But if you don't mind, if you're not subscribed, please click on that button. It helps us a lot. It helps us. I'm not trying to make money on this. We're not trying to get any kind of money from YouTube, but a higher subscriber count allows us to get more eyeballs on our broadcasts, and that's always good for our leagues. It's a cross-pollination a little bit, so if you aren't subscribed, definitely go do that. Definitely like these broadcasts. That helps a lot. But anyway, thank y'all very much. We'll see y'all next week as we get ready to shrink the playoff field down just a little bit longer. I'm Eddie Smith, Dakota Wilson in the booth. Y'all have a great night.